As we all know, Aarogya Setu app is an Indian open source contact tracing app for COVID-19. But initially it was not an open source. It became open source after all the critics it got. So when did it was made open source? Government moved to make Aarogya Setu app open source just days after it updated the app's privacy policies, which allowed the developers to reverse engineer it to detect the flaws in the system. Even government has its own bug bounty program offering cash prize of rupees 1 lakh to anyone who reports bugs in the app. One of the biggest facts of the Aarogya Setu app is that it crossed 5 million downloads within 3 days of its launch, making it one of the most popular government apps in India. It became the world's fastest growing mobile apps, beating Pokemon Go with more than 50 million downloads in 13 days. After launching in India on 2 April 2020, it reached 100 million installs by 13 May 2020. That is in 40 days since its launch. Do you ever thought why the app was made open source? Probably for silencing the critics who have been asking the government to open source the Aarogya Setu app. More concerns only grew further after an anonymous French hacker, Elliot Alderson, discovered security issues, in fact two, in the Aarogya Setu app, which could have hampered the privacy of millions of Indians at stake. He has flagged the issue to Indian Computer Emergency Research Team and the National Informatics Center in early May. Well, the government also contacted the hackers soon enough and the issue was resolved to them, and the government came out with a detailed response that the issue has been resolved, ensuring the users that no danger is going to happen soon. Well, Alderson is not the only one to have raised this privacy issue in the app. New Delhi-based Software Freedom Law Center has put allegations too against the app, claiming it collects sensitive user data such as user gender and travel history. So the most viral question right now is that who has created the Aarogya Setu app? As you can see in news channels, this is full of these questions right now. So this is the most viral question right now after a guy named Saurabh Das who filed to know who made Aarogya Setu app. Well, Aarogya Setu website says it was developed by the National Informatics Centers that designed government website and the IT Ministry, but according to the Central Information Commission, various ministries and departments had given vague answers to a right to information query on who created the app. Well, though on Wednesday only, government also stated that the name of those who associated with the apps were already in the public domain, which means the app was developed with public-private collaboration. Well, going into more details, I also found that there was some link with Make My Trip with the Aarogya Setu app. I have given the link on the of the news in the description. You can check it out. So what could be the dangers regarding this app? So after reading several articles on this topic, I went to Quint page to read the article of Saurabh Das, the one who rose the issue, where he has mentioned the report and analysis of the app. So in my opinion, the things I mostly found important are the one I am going to talk about, and others you can read from the article. The link is given in the description. The first thing I need to mention that the Aarogya Setu app has some protocol which is not any government policy or legislature, but a set of mere rules that the government claimed to follow. So as I was going through the article, I found that there are some safeguards, mainly 4, that the government has failed to implement on this app. So among them, one of them is that when the NIC was asked about all the protocols and all the safeguards that they have maintained or not, firstly they failed to answer all the questions. And the first thing here is that there was no clear documentation of
of the parties with whom the data is being shared, the third parties or the second parties. They said they have no actual list. They are just assuming and giving some answers, which makes very less sense of actually with whom our data is going on. Secondly, the recipients of data are supposed to have reasonable security practices and procedures, but the RTI failed to give any clear answers, and they said that they have no idea if any measures are in place or not. Thirdly, there is no audit mechanism also. So there are lots of things out written there. You can read it out. I have just told in short.
So the main question lies here that why should we be concerned about the data taken by this Aarogya Setu app? Do you know that India does not have a data protection law? And here NIC is claiming that they have only shared the data with ICMR, state health secretaries and district magistrate, whereas they has no clue how these second parties are handling the data, and even fail to keep which third parties they have seen the data to. Then how can we really on the privacy policy of this app that government is making it compulsory? While the government insists that it has now made the source code available, experts disagrees with that, with one of the concerns being the failure to publish the full data. So, being a cybersecurity enthusiast and doing a quite research on this app, I found that you should not rely on this app so much, because all the questions that has been asked to them are not clearly answered. So until it is not clear that who and where our data is going, who is accessing our data, we should stay away from this app, because in today's date our data are more valuable than all the golden jewelries we have at our home. You have no idea who can exploit with your data today or tomorrow, whenever they feel like they can. Even often we find in dark web some data are leaked and data breach happen, and they have posted the data and all this shit. So you can understand what is happening around our world. So be safe, and I think the most safest thing right now is to maintaining social distancing rather than believing in some apps, because in my personal experience I've never found this app to be too much helpful. So it's now your opinion. In my opinion, I would say you should stay away, and further your choice. So hope you like the video. Do share with everyone, and if you like the video, do subscribe to my channel.